Hey, good stuff, family. Welcome to Friday. It's a very exciting one with a lot of stuff to get to. And we're glad we woke up today because the best part of waking up is
Waking up.
that's right. What are we hearing back there? Trying to figure
Hold
it
on,
out?
I'm fixing it. I'm
One
fixing it.
moment, please. We're coming to you from Jefferson City, Missouri today. I'm quite the not world traveler, but it feels like it as I transition back to St. Louis. But so this past weekend, I know we're heading into another, but it's really plugged in, wasn't it, babe?
Oh my goodness. It was a whirl. I mean, your life on a calm day is like an EF1 tornado, but this was not a calm weekend. This was a whirlwind of stuff.
EF1 tornado. I think that must be a real thing because he used to be a meteorologist or
Hold on, it's the
weatherman.
enhanced Fujita scale. That's how they measure.
Stop it.
That's how they.
That is impressive.
That's how
Someone
they
look that
measure.
up.
That's how they. It's like the what do you call it? The Richter scale for earthquakes.
Okay.
And so anyway, you've heard of EF1 through EF5 tornadoes. Like
Okay.
if you live in the Midwest, which most of us do, you've probably heard of the EF5. Like that's the worst tornado, like a category whatever
Right.
5 hurricane or one. I think maybe it's reversed. Like one is the worst.
Okay.
Anyway,
So we have a plan on this
but an
that if I
EF1
talk
is
too
the
much, we do a reel it in.
EF1 is
Can
the
I do? I'm
smallest
giving you
tornado.
10 more seconds. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so you're
Good.
yeah, even on a calm day, you're like a low grade tornado.
You know what? We're starting over. No, it is true that
And
once
we all love you, Donnie.
I want to say this right now that this is what I've learned in the last few years too that more is not always better. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to be still and know that I'm God. Like that picture hung for 20 years in my condo in Cleveland, and it wasn't until the last few years where I really looked up at it and I was like, I get it.
How often were you still while that hung up in your condo?
Well, in the moment that I was reading it, and I think my translation is, be still and know that I'm God, but not too still. You have to keep taking the next best step, which is what regular followers of the Good Stuff family, we know we say that often. So we have so much to get
We
to.
have a lot to
Did
cover.
the Carlos video make it
As they
in?
say in the news business, we have a lot to
We have a
cover.
lot to get to here, so let's
Yes,
just jump right in. Wait,
including
speaking of the news business, look how we made this official. He made this official kind of this time. This is our first. We should work on how that. But it sounds good, everyone. Can you let us know?
yeah.
I know. I can tell with even not my without my cheaters, Jan
Oh
Hasselbush.
yeah, Jan has
There
already
she
chimed
is.
in.
How Kellyanne. See, and let's just say this right now. These families that are joined in right now are our first two supporters, and we have some huge news to announce today in way of people who are getting behind this movement.
Yes, and those of you who have invested in the movement, and those of you who are ongoing supporters, you'll be thrilled to know about some of the growth that we have
It's
that the Dawn has already seen and that is ahead.
Yep. They call it divine design, not mine. Coming. It's coming. It's like God is good. So let's just perfect. That one's in. But do you have the one with yours playing the guitar from on yours?
No,
Oh shoot. Okay. Well, our friend Carlos Jones.
supposed to get it.
You want to?
I'll try.
Okay.
But go ahead. But
Well, it's Carlos Jones and the Plus Band, Peace, Love, Unity Syndicate. Hello, that is exactly perfectly aligned with the Good Stuff family and what we're trying to do. So we asked him if he would be the sound of our new podcast we're launching. And
and I gotta say, if you've ever been to a reggae concert like I have, and if you've ever turned your nose up to it, like oh they're a bunch of pot smokers, whatever, go
babe,
listen.
oh my God.
Go listen to the message. I mean, it is exactly. You cannot argue with the message of that music. It is
That's it.
peace. It is higher power. It is. I mean, it's
And
all
it's
there.
no judgment. Like I said, these
It's
are my
love.
people.
It's honoring those who have gone before us and who have moved on and passed away. I mean,
That's the Iditation we're going to show you. We learned
yeah. I
that
mean, you can't argue with it. You can't.
Carlos Jones
Don't judge it.
he's lost some family and friends, so he introduced us at this concert that we were at on Saturday to Iditation, like meditation, but it's honoring people who've gone before. But we want to first show you. Well, let's do it. Let's show them that video. Can you, babe?
Let's. You just keep stalling for a couple
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
It's almost
Well, you
ready.
know what we can do? So he decided to be the sound. We asked him, and within minutes, he said yes. And before the day was out, we had an intro for our podcast that we're about to launch. And he has a new song that he kind of chopped down to match the words that I was saying perfectly. His new album is New Day. It's so perfectly aligned, a new dawn. Get up, wake up. It's just good. It's good stuff. The best part of waking up is waking up. So we wanted to introduce you to, first, you heard it first here, publicly, right?
So we're playing the podcast.
The intro
now?
for our
Okay,
podcast.
I'm going to be producer and
Thank
co-host.
goodness. Thank goodness
So
for
I'm going to
you.
be doing a little bit over here, a little something over here.
And
Okay.
we want to talk about gratitude as the theme today. And for starters, super grateful for you, Ben.
Listen to this. It's an honor. It's
Okay.
an honor. So Carlos recorded this great intro and customized it for what the show needed. So here we go.
Hey everybody, Dawn Kendrick here with some good news. And the good news is that you're only going to hear good news here. I'm a repurposed news reporter, and I'm finally doing the stories that have been burning in my heart for so long. They're stories that uplift, encourage, and inspire, and they are real, and they're raw, and they're vulnerable. They're the good stuff stories, and we see it over and over again that through it all, through the middle of our biggest challenges, together we can, together we will. Let's go see the good and be the good. On your mark and set, let's go.
See, and
It's perfect.
that was unnecessary, but
It's
of
perfect.
me. But we needed what we call a hard out, and so it didn't fade out. We needed it to be out so that then Dawn can start talking.
And we went back
is
a couple times. Boom, he just went right in and
yeah.
did it. So we love him.
Oh yeah.
His aura. Again, we talk about the best good stuff people. You just want to be in their presence, like Kellyanne and Jan. That is the truth. And so, can we show his iditation yet or no?
Not yet.
Okay. So that was Saturday that we were lucky enough to be at his concert at Beachland Ballroom, which is iconic venue in Cleveland. Again, if you're just joining us, we're coming to you from Jefferson City, Missouri. This is our life right now split between Ohio and Missouri. And we put some miles on the car because the car is officially here. It's officially in Missouri.
Yeah.
I'll be back in Cleveland through the end of December, but it's getting real. So we're grateful.
I wanted to tell everybody also that the name of the show is next week. Dawn doesn't know this yet. Is going to change to the best part of having lunch because we're on Central Time now and it's early.
I said, can we do something like at noon? Right? Let's be on to something there. So we know that your time in the morning is super valuable too. So we have a lot to get to. You'll just let me know when his agitation's
Except
up.
for Kellyanne, you said she doesn't really do much in the morning, right?
She's a superhero. But she does in a matter of hours in any given day in overcoming and in showing up and in gratitude. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna move. It's still.
So you can play Carlos now if you want.
You can the iditation.
You can play his video.
Oh, good. Let's just take a short. We won't hear the whole thing. 1 moment, please. Okay, I'm going to brand.
We got some fun stuff to show you. God, this stuff is great.
I mean, it's a lot. We took a couple hours this morning loading some of this stuff in because we also went to the Browns game on Sunday. Woohoo! We won. That was huge. Fun with the Good Stuff family. Compliments of A.M. Higley. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Here's his iditation. We'll explain on that. But here, let's stay on Carlos. This is Saturday evening. How he plugged in with what's called an iditation.
He made his tribe to Mount Zion, and so tonight I play this drum in his honor. Fly away home, my brother. And there are lots of people in our lives that have gone on. And tonight, as I read the names of the ones that I want to lift up on this prayer, if you have people in your lives that have gone on and traveled on, I want you to say their names softly and let them ride the spirit of this meditation as we begin. The heartbeat.
Oh, what happened? I was ending it.
Did it stop?
I think so. Maybe
Okay.
it didn't die. But you get the idea. Those, what are they called? Not drums.
Bongos, congos. Yeah.
So yeah, that was our friend Carlos Jones. So we started out on Saturday night with that, and I'm telling you, it was goosebump worthy, especially because he is now the sound of our podcast and that vibe that Cleveland and beyond loves. So check out his new album if you would. New Day, again, so appropriate. New day. We celebrate every new day when we're able to wake up, because the best part of waking up is waking up. In my own life, dawn, I mean, it's not lost on me, the new day. It's about to be a new day, a plugged in day. And that's why we come to you in the morning, because we want to hear your stories as well. And we want you to try with us, or strength in numbers, to get plugged into that gratitude, no matter how hard it is to put your feet on the floor, whatever you're up against physically or the plans of the day. The best part of waking up is waking up, because if not, you miss what God has in store for you. So we moved from Saturday night now to Sunday, where the Browns played Tampa Bay, his first Browns game. Mm-hmm. And we had a suite compliments of A.M. Higley, that's a local construction company here in town. And I won it at...
What is here in town?
Oh, right. I'm in Jefferson City. I'm telling y'all, it's very confusing. They're in Cleveland. Yes. Oh, my gosh.
She's having dreams going, okay, I have a doctor's appointment today. Wait, no, that's next week. Wait, what city is that in?
It's a little confusing right now.
Yeah.
But we bring that to you vulnerably. And, that's what we are. Real, raw, honest, genuine, vulnerable. I love the door behind us, by the way. I have a big good stuff sign we could bring. But guess what? It is in St. Louis, not in Jefferson City. So at any rate, I never win anything, you all. And I was emceeing Prevent Blindness, an event for them. And I told them, all the regular viewers are going to know what I'm about to say. My concept for my friend Chappelle and I, we started a speaking circuit. He didn't want to, but started a speaking circuit called The Blind Leading the Blonde. He was blind, and I'm naturally blonde, of course. Well, hold on, cover those roots. Okay, so he said, no, and we finally convinced him to do it, and it was at Windows on the River. This is years ago. And he didn't speak, he just stood up when I talked about how he, being blind, saw people really for who they are without having the benefit of seeing them first with their eyes. He saw their hearts and their souls. And so I gave a whole story there. And I said, the thing is, you all, the very first one we did was the only one we did, because he passed away before we could do the second one we had scheduled. And I think there were like 400 people who went, oh, and I said, so, and the thing is, it was right here at Windows on the River where we are tonight for Prevent Blindness. What are the odds of that? Oh, gasp. Okay. Now let's do a drawing out of 400 people or whatever for this fantastic prize from A.M. Higley that they're going to give you their suite at First Energy Stadium for a Browns game.
21 people.
In the suite.
Can attend.
And they bought us all this food. Well, I just, spoiler alert, drew my own name. There you go. And I was like, what? And everyone's like, first of all, they're like, oh, and they're like, could that be rigged? It was not rigged.
Sounds rigged to me.
It was rigged by God.
But I'm glad they let you have it.
There you go.
I got to go to the suite.
So will you take it from here? So
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this is so fun. The Browns game experience is really
fans like no other.
Much more than you would expect. So.
So you're
fired up for the game. Okay, so I got kind of a feel for the rhythm of a Browns game. Okay, everybody's hopeful at the beginning, fired up, and then the frustration begins to build as the game goes on. I will say, spoiler, this has a happy ending, but so this hilarious. This is John Webb and his son Jack Webb, and watch Jack, the one on the right, as the Browns make some mistake. I want to say Amari Cooper dropped a killer fourth down, wide open catch. I mean, hit him right in the numbers, and he dropped it. But okay, so that's the cycle. Okay, great hope at the beginning. It's always been painful, but this time might be different. The hope rises, the tension, and then the frustration. But okay, gotta have the audio.
Look at this. It's like settling in.
That was it.
There. No.
Who's the chief engineer of this broadcast?
Scott, is that really?
That was
where
the end. 18 seconds.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Scott T. Swatilla, again, on the East Side Integrations Treatment Center. We would be here all day if we were listing off, especially new people who have joined on. Can we just talk about that quickly?
If we just listed all Don's friends and contacts by name, we would be here for.
I mean, people who are behind us now.
Yeah.
It's fantastically empowering.
But anyway, it was a great experience, and the Browns tied the game with an exciting touchdown at the very end, and then they won with a touchdown in overtime, sudden death.
Yep.
So
what
an experience! It was deafening in there, very loud.
But so what we did when we won that, we said, let's go, and we're going to make this kind of a good stuff family celebration, and we invited all the people who've been in from the ground up, grassroots. Good stuff, growing this grassroots. So those are our two Kellys. Do you want to go that way? There we go.
Go this way.
No, I like you in there.
Oh, you want me to see?
I think so.
Okay.
It's a work in progress. So that's two Kellys. Kelly Longhorn on the left, Kelly Patton Wolf, married to James Wolf, who is also there. These two women have been such a positive force to be reckoned with, each with their own stories. And how I met them. You're going to learn it all as we continue to do these stories and profile the very people who believe in the good stuff are the good stuff themselves.
Here, let me see.
Okay, yeah, you'll be. Oh, yeah, and there's our Lynette and her trusty sidekick. Look at that, Rich Smith. He couldn't make it, but he was top on the list for all that he's done for the good stuff in conjunction with Lynette.
Yeah, definitely.
You loved them.
Oh yeah,
he's an IT genius.
You said you were not that crazy about him. I'm a big fan.
He does that. He stirs the pot. Rich knows better.
There
we are talking to him.
Okay.
Love her.
I think we get the idea.
Okay. Jackie Bertolet, you want to take this one?
Jackie brought her co-worker, LaShawn Connor.
Yeah.
And of course, I couldn't resist calling him LaShawn Connery, shaken, not stirred.
I see the resemblance.
LaShawn. Anyway, he and I hung out. He wore those glasses the whole time. I think they're transition, so sometimes they're sunglasses, sometimes they're not. But he looked cool the whole time, and we had a blast. He's really funny.
And guess what? He blessed us by saying he's going to help us with the way we're putting this out, like through some channels.
He does a lot of what do you call it?
Production.
Production. So
Actually,
he can do video editing.
He
and that
is
kind of
is
stuff.
Jackie's right-hand man for her Hood,
Here,
Ohio.
I'm driving. Okay, so Jackie and LaShawn here.
This is the group we came to the stadium with.
Yeah, that's yeah. So Dee and Eddie, Kelly and James, Donnie and I, Mindy Lee,
And Chomps.
Okay.
Now, woo, what a bonus. Sorry.
Okay.
I still get excited.
I'm gonna have you identify.
We didn't even see them ourselves, but so here we are trying to host the Good Stuff family to say thank you, right? And they come back and they're like, "You're not gonna believe who's next door." They were all fired up because look, Josh Cribbs, there's Bernie Kosar. Like, you doesn't get more iconic than Bernie Kosar, I don't think, really, right? Cardiac
the
Kids.
Brown, yeah. I mean, probably most famous Brown. I don't know, Jim Brown, maybe more, but a long time ago.
And then I thought this. I've only been in Cleveland 22 years, but I thought this guy was a wrestler because his name's not Slasher. What is it?
Webster Slaughter. Right.
I'm like, is he a wrestler?
Like a wrestler?
Webster Slaughter.
Yeah, Webster sounds kind of cerebral, but Slaughter definitely.
Okay, so these look, see the fingers take. So here's what happened. Well, this is what God blessed our guests with, who bless us every day. Okay, we're not going in order. Hang on. So that's Sam, who has a beautiful voice on the left. She is an amazing singer.
Yes, supporters.
And both of them individually. Mm-hmm. And Jan is her mama, who both of them so rooted in faith. And there's our Mindy Lee, who she and Doug Lee have been, I mean, there are no words.
And by the way,
personally, how they've stood up for me.
Where'd those great looking shirts come from?
Yeah, the Good Stuff shirts. We'll see them more. Jackie Bertolette, within days, whips up a couple shirts for us that has the logo. You'll see more of them as we go ahead. This is our friend Laura Gajewski and her twin sister. She does a ton of good stuff. We couldn't possibly tell all these stories, but they have one as well. Now this is some guy who just joined in, right? What was he?
He was a brother-in-law of John Webb, I want to say. Hilarious.
And we had so much fun. And
Joel, something like
that. Look what happens when
he became everybody's best friend, like that.
There they are. Yeah. So you're going to see these pictures. That's our Joe. I'm sorry, our Dee and Eddie Winter, who have been my friends for almost since I've been here and have stood up for me in ways I could never begin to thank them either. I'm going to skip down to the bottom for some of these pictures with, really here we go. Oh, thanks. Okay, that's cool. Okay, let me grab this one. Ready? Here we go. Again, this is the Brown, but now I can't even see what's over there. Can you? There we go. This is the Browns game we were blessed to be at on Sunday. Compliments of A.M. Higley. Oh, wait, I keep trying to find the celebrities and this, but see, look at the happiness there. This is pure happiness. This is family, not by blood, but by choice. There's the bracelet with two trees on it that Kelly Longhorn. I have it on today. Wait, one moment, please.
Yeah.
There it is. 2 trees because we grow the family tree. And I mean, how sweet of her. There's Travi, who stole Jan Hasselbush's earmuff wrap or whatever it's called.
It's great. It says dog pound on it.
And he went home with a souvenir. Oh, shoot, I got ahead of myself. You guys stay with me here, would you, until we can afford. We might be able to afford an official production soon. We'll get to that. There's Lynette and Kelly Wolf. Again, look at their faces. Do you want to be friends with them? I'm going to tell you, when you meet them,
you do.
You don't want to let them go. They're
I'll
pure
answer for
goodness.
You. Oh, and Big Bad Bob.
Bob Hostetler, ground
Legend.
Floor in on the good stuff. Again, I couldn't begin to tell you everything he's done. He set up our webpage, for Pete's sake. All these things that I didn't know what to do. I'll say it again. Bob Goff says, find the people who are adjacent to what you're trying to do and then align yourselves with them. Boom. That's what these people are. And it's growing this week. 5 more, I think, sponsors. We're going to get to that. But people who believe in what we're doing, and it's the wind beneath our wings right now. There's Trevi and Don at his first Browns game with the thing he stole from
my dog pound thing.
Jan. Yeah, look, when in Rome. Okay.
Yeah.
There's John Webb, who couldn't join us this morning because he's at a networking meeting, which is where I met him in the first place. He was the very first sponsor to our live streams that we do during the week, the Good Stuff family interviews, personality profiles. He's a testicular cancer survivor who made it his life work from there. Besides his normal job printing, he made it his life work to make sure that people know, even in high school, some kids that got screened.
Well, he was in his 20s, I think, when he got diagnosed. And that's the thing about that type of cancer. It affects young guys. And what guy that age is thinking about cancer? Nobody. So he's doing awareness to make sure those guys are in the danger zone, and that's the high risk age, and they need to be checking. It's very, very treatable if it's like a lot of cancers if it's caught early.
And the common thread of all of our stories, turning the bad stuff, like testicular cancer, into the good stuff. Thank you. That's good. Okay, so shout out to John Webb. We love him. He's the one, by the way, that was behind his son Jack with he said, we bleed orange and brown. From the second we invited him, he was like, should we download the tickets? I'm really looking forward to it. He's very excited. He's very excited about the Good Stuff family. He's just good stuff.
We had people in tears at that event saying,
it's true.
We couldn't have afforded to do this.
Nor could we
go to a game.
You and I couldn't.
How sweet.
Right.
So it was a thrill for everybody, including me.
And for a moment, we were like, let them eat cake to the rest of the stadium until we realized we can't afford their seats even. But
right, yeah, even
God's provision. God's provision, in this case, A.M. Higley. Okay, so one moment, please. We're just going to come plow through these. Okay, there's our Bob and Kelly. I'm pretty sure, I hope they made them in here. The pictures of all, like Josh Cribbs and all them. There's Jackie, who made our shirts. She has been from the ground floor up a supporter as well. Wait,
okay.
Can you go back?
Who we got there?
This is Kelly Langhorn. She has crutches.
Longhorn.
Reggie Langhorn, I believe, is a former bride.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
So Kelly Longhorn, she sent us this picture because this guy, just some random nice guy at the stadium, she fell and he came and walked her to the elevator. That's what she said. So we found good stuff among us.
Because it was wet and rainy that day.
So it's right all around us. There it is. Yep. Okay. Now look. So here's Kelly, our little humble warrior through illnesses. She's not supposed to be alive, by the way. I can't give away her whole story, but literally she wasn't supposed to be alive. She said one thing after another. She has a daughter with autism, and they show us the AWE in autism through. Okay, so here she just lucks into, I don't think it's luck. I say it's divine design. God weaves, divine provision.
Well, and she took some initiative too.
She did.
She walked over there and said, I want a picture with these guys.
Mm-hmm. And Jan Hasselbush.
So that's Cribbs, Kozar, and then that's Webster Slaughter, and then who's on?
I think it's Hanford Dixon.
Hanford Dixon, okay.
Yeah. And they mentioned another name of someone who was there though too. Do you remember?
Well, Kevin Mack was there.
Yes, they did see him too.
And there was one other guy, and I can't remember.
So no one even.
These are in the suite next door, and they're the nicest guys.
What are the odds? Like these are like as good. They're great guys. And when you see how Josh Cribbs snuggled up to some of our favorite people in the world. Well, speaking of snuggling up,
Kelly and David.
Yeah, Longhorn
supporters.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Look at him. That is a good guy. That is a good guy. When you say celebrity, there's so many throwaway, celebrity, whatever. You know what makes the best celebrities? That right there.
Where's that cool head wrap she had on when she?
I believe it's on your head.
Okay. She looks so
good. She gave
you
the head wrap right off of her head. What a friend.
She looks so good in it. She looks so cute.
Well, good thing I have a picture of it because she doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah. No, she does. She had another one at home. That's why she said it was okay.
All right.
And she gave it happily.
Okay. John Webb, Mindy, Travi, and I again. Travi's first Browns game. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, that's what you want to do. You want to soak her up, and that is we have our Good Stuff shirts on.
Yeah.
I'm holding up my bracelet
that
remember that Kelly Longhorn gave me again. These 2 trees because of the Good Stuff family tree that's growing. Yeah. She's so thoughtful. We call these love gifts for no reason.
Okay, I think we've showed that one. Oh, there I am. Yeah, there I am with the dog pound thing on.
Hi, I'm in the picture too.
Okay. Oh, were you in that?
There's Sam. I love this one so much. Look, the back is washed out, but that stadium was electric.
It was.
All right, so
Jan,
you
Sam,
get the point.
Gary.
Fantastic Browns game. We're grateful. The theme of this morning is gratitude for the entire weekend past. And this is why we're glad we get up and show up, because we had no idea the blessings that were in store for us that day. Could we also ask that you guys share this? Share. When we're finished, share the link, because we're growing in the Good Stuff family.
This is a ton of pictures in here. So we've we've shown all these.
I think we did. We just buzzed right through them.
Okay.
And again, Jackie Bertolette, in from the ground floor. Fantastic story with her mama passing away. And she was the backbone of Hood, Ohio. And there's our Mindy Lee. Should we just settle in a little on Mindy and Doug Lee, even for you, have been such blessings.
Talk about a rock.
She and Dougie.
Can you call a woman a rock? It's not very flattering sounding, but
it's what she is, and she's
strong, steady,
and she
calm.
is our Rizal mama of Jakey and Jordan. Everyone knows it's when we talk about being adjacent, we run adjacent. The life lessons with Jake and Jordan and the good stuff. Again, a family I met from when I was working on broadcast news, and no longer have that job, but have these friends. So it's impossible to be bitter. We're like, all right, God, I see what you're doing. That was a gift in and of itself to have worked there. And now we have so much more good stuff coming, and we can move right into our friend Danielle, because then we got in the car on Monday morning, went to Columbus, stayed with our friends Erica and Larry Worth, who we love so much. That goes back to when we worked together at KMIZ in Columbia, Missouri.
Right up the road from where we are right now.
That's right, exactly. And we're in Jefferson City, Missouri. And so we got to see them. And then we woke up early Tuesday morning.
Oh. How's that? Is that too much light?
I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't know.
Okay.
Who cares?
A little heavy on me, but that's okay.
And so here, can we show you this is our friend, Danielle Folk. And we went on Tuesday. We drove to see her.
You are golden. It looks great on you.
Okay, then open it wide, would you please? Is there a wrinkle filter on your blind? All right. Wait, not that one. One moment. Okay, here we go. This is our friend, Danielle Folk. Get to know the face. We crowned her with that hat. Mindy Lee Woohoo, who we call her, found those at Walmart, y'all. $8.
She
Be the good. Be the good. So we crowned our friend Danielle Folk with that before we left, because she is the good. Tell what we talked about around her table that day was huge.
Donnie and I you all know Donnie really well. Some of you know me a little bit. We tend to be a little high energy, but scattered at times. And I can be organized, but I don't have the best structure of got to do this every day, got to do that every day. Neither one of us really does. So this is our buddy Danielle, who is a podcaster, and quick plug for her
fantastic friend. She's the Federal Farmhouse is how you find her.
Storyteller.
Federal Farmhouse storyteller, and
she has a 185-year-old house in outside of Cincinnati, outside of Oxford, Ohio, where she lives, and so she and her husband and her 3 kids live there and restore it. But anyway, she's very on the ball, very organized, and so we started talking to her this week about being the social media guru, and basically the marketing, making sure everything's there, making sure the links are where they need to be, and making sure when this thing goes out, it hits Facebook and it hits YouTube at the same time, and the comments that come in that we receive and the email that comes in is manageable. So
because it's not manageable right now, like we're growing, it's so good. And again, if you're watching this, you're like, yeah, you never called me back, call me again. If we've dropped something through the cracks for stories, there's so many, and they're about to get told.
Yeah. So her focus will be keeping things on track, and also with the eventual goal of growing the audience. So there's lots and lots of ways that can be done that haven't been done yet as a one person operation, and so she can provide some really, really valuable help.
Can you shrink that screen? I want to see about the comments. Right. So, if you're a regular watcher, these are the stories we're telling. They're real, raw, genuine, authentic, and vulnerable stories that uplift, encourage, and inspire. That simple. And often the best of the good stuff comes from these stories that we're learning. One story leads to 500 other stories. That's how it works. We say it's like pulling on a string, but we're like, how do we do this? I've been a broadcast news reporter my entire life, and I was afraid. What am I going to do from here on out? I know I love telling these stories. I know there's so many to be told, and you pray. That's what I did. I prayed. And I kept reminding myself, instead of just the shirt that says faith over fear that I bought for all of our friends, it's like, all right, God, can you give me the patience to live that? Faith over fear. Faith over the things that make us go, really, God, really? And it's happening, you all. That's why I give goosebumps when I want to share this with you. We don't know exactly what a year out it's going to look like, but we know what the next day and the next month even coming, because of the momentum that we've gotten from our friend Bob Campano. And we have to give him a huge shout out today.
Yeah, so Bob sat Dawn down and said, what you are doing is special and can be huge. So basically quit screwing around, put together a business plan, get out there and start
He did.
finding investors. And Bob said, I'm in. I'm going to support
I'm
you
gonna raise my
financially.
hand first.
And he then sent a personalized letter to 30 of his friends and said, I hope you'll join me. And already, I mean, this was like Monday he did this, and there's already been, I want to say 3 or maybe 4 more who have joined him. People that you don't know. A couple of them you've heard of.
No, I do know a couple,
but yeah.
most not.
So the revenue is coming in.
When we roll over to Danielle, who bless us, has already blessed us in so many ways, and we're building, you guys. The momentum is tangible.
And there's a budget now to pay somebody like Danielle to make sure that everything is being done as it should be, and opportunities aren't being overlooked, which is easy to happen in any business. When you're running a business is about running a business, no matter what business you're in. So if you're in the business of owning a restaurant or doing good stuff stories, you still got to run a business, and it's hard.
And if this was a drinking game and business was a word, we'd all be taking a nap.
Right, because it's what it's all about. I mean, seriously,
business.
You can't just because you're a great chef
person
doesn't mean you're going to be a successful restaurant owner.
And I was
you got to run a business. So
I'm speaking to you all. Maybe you can weigh in the comments on what is it that you're up against. Like, I'm a writer. I don't want to be a business person. That's what I said. And God's like, could you try? Could you just try? And watch how I'm going to reveal to you people to help you.
If you can't, can you find somebody who can help you?
That's it.
Yeah. Can you pay somebody if necessary?
Not me find. Literally, God revealed to me, I'll say it confidently, how he's going to make this work. Bob Campana, huge supporter of Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Travi had a thing in the Ozarks this weekend a while ago, a big yearly thing for Wall Street Group that sponsor and say thank you. It's a work thing, and I was
an employee party.
So excited to come. Oh gosh, guess what? I have 2 things on the schedule. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes All Abilities Camp in Avon, which like our friends with Downs, and it's great. You clap them all in, and
I'm gonna run to the kitchen. Do you need a snack or anything? Anything I can get for you?
I would love like a creme brulee French toast, if you don't mind.
Got it. Be right back.
So I go to this event where my heart is so happy. I'm like, these are my people. Carrie Sad did that whole undertaking. Robert Kylo, Nobles Darby the Fourth, all of them there. And here come these kids with different abilities. And there's a whole line of volunteers who clap them in, and I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, woo, say their names and everyone's clapping. It's classic, the good stuff. So after I spoke to the kids towards the end, Carrie said, could we just have a round of applause for my friend, Dawn Kendrick, the good stuff, and these are kids. They don't care who I am. So as soon as she says that, I hear one guy in the back. And I'm thinking, who is this nice gentleman? Guess what? Bob Campana. The guy who I had been doing commercials with Carrie leading up to this, thanking the Campanas, Bob and Lori Campana, for their compassion and their investment in this All Abilities Camp. Like, I just knew these people were good stuff. I had never officially met them. Yes.
I just realized I can still talk because I have my lav mic on.
Oh, that's cool.
So I can still participate.
Yeah, and we can also hear the brewing of the coffee. I have a funny story about that, but I want to stay focused here for once in my life. So, Robert Kylo, when we talk about God weaves, now watch him work. How I even met Robert, come on, whole story for another day. It was God, 100%. Robert Kylo at the Fellowship of Christian Athletes All Abilities Camp said, I want you to meet my friend Bob Campana. He said, I've been a fan. Of course, the only way these people know me is from 20 years on the air in Cleveland. And I told him what we're doing. And this is why we sit here today to tell you, it's a little emotional. Like, he went to bat for us. He believes in what we're doing. He believes in stories that not always the ones we tell are hard, rooted in faith. But the truth is, the huge percentage of them coming through the hard stuff, getting to the good stuff, people either found faith or strengthen their faith, myself, present company included, through the journey. And he believes in it. And y'all, we are about to do great things, not of me, not of Travi, and not even of Bob Campana, but of the weaving that God does. And I didn't know I didn't know where it was coming. So I speak this to you today from the bottom of my heart. What are you passionate about? What is God calling you to do? Take the next best step. You know, the Bible says he'll be a lamp unto your feet, not a spotlight into your whole future. Take the next best step with this lamp, and then the next best step with a lamp. And you just keep going. And we have so many more steps that are scary.
Sometimes the next best step is ready with.
Travi, I was on a roll. What time is it? You couldn't wait to get your coffee? What time are we looking at? We still have 20 minutes. But I actually could use some more Cool Whip on mine. You get the point, y'all. He's a natural stopgap. I could go on forever. But God is working here.
I just want to say, these people that you're talking about, these new sponsors that have come through, there's a little bit of time to sit back and be grateful, okay?
Oh, how sweet are you?
And then after that, it's get to work time, because these people, these people, this is not a small amount of money. They've all what you're trying to do is find 25 people to give $1,000, and I think
for the first phase.
You're at for the first phase. You're at 6 or 7, and so this is not a small amount of money. And these people are doing this not just to be nice to you. They're doing this because they want this to grow. Yeah. So sharing, following, being organized, getting the word out, boosting the audience is the name of the game.
And we fell right onto it. Yeah. I've been to Oxford to see Danielle twice now, and it was the day before we went down there that all of this opened up. It's impossible to not acknowledge God in all of this. We so many times we're like, where are you, God? Where are you? What are you doing? Especially in news. And then there are moments like this where you're like, I'm sorry, God, I got you. Let's go. Work. So if you want, you could email, if you want to be a sponsor and get in on this and learn more about what we're doing, you could email me at dawn@thegoodstufffamily.com. We can send you the proposal, the business plan and all of that. We have projections for the next year out. It's real. It's moving ahead. And I'm not particularly proud of this, and I don't mean it to be negative, but it is in a lot of ways the antidote to the stuff that breaks your heart that you're seeing when you turn on the TV. It's the antidote. It's the stories under that you're not going to hear because there's not enough time in the rundown. Now we have permission to not only bring them to you in live stream interviews, but then eventually to bring you those stories in almost like documentary form, to hire the professional production people who, and then we share. And that's you all sharing this is the lifeblood of what keeps this good stuff family tree growing. And
what we are going to sound at times a little bit like NPR Pledge Week, okay? But during the fundraising, the eventual vision is that the funds that are raised will help go toward a marketing budget that will then grow the audience, generate advertising, and everything will be self-sustaining. So it won't be this way forever, but probably for the next 6 to 8 months. That's kind of the goal is to try to hit that $25,000 mark to get things going. So just want you to know, we will be talking about that. But there's just a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that can be done. And think about how cool this would be if down the road, Dawn has, rocked Cleveland, Cleveland rocks, and Dawn has rocked Cleveland. And all of you with her. And now she's in Missouri. And so that's another market that could come into the fold. And wouldn't it be cool if those families are coming together? Her first trip to see me in Jefferson City in the summer, she interviewed a guy that I know. I didn't really know him, but I know of him. He has a very cool story, the Cody's Gift, and you can see that archived. For
recognizing and preventing suicide in young kids.
Yeah, right. And she overdosed. And she brought in a woman from Cleveland to join on that same interview.
That's right.
So she was in Jeff City,
the Bachman family,
with a story, with a man here in Jeff City, Missouri, and a Cleveland person, all on the same show. So it was all coming together. That was a thrill for me. I wasn't in that one, but I was sitting back listening in my living room, and that was a thrill for me to be part of uniting those markets.
It was right here at this desk.
And so what if down the road there's good stuff Cleveland, and there's good stuff St. Louis, and there's good stuff Los Angeles, and there's franchises all over the countries, or maybe there's good stuff Rocky Mountains or regions or whatever they are. So
super cool.
And to think that it started with you all and Donnie
And
and
just
me
the
tagging
passion.
along. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
God can take that passion. We're feeling it. There's still so many questions that I go, no, fear, you get behind me, because there's so much potential. We believe in this more than ever today. And it's because of people who believe in us. So enough of all of that kind of pitch, but I wanted to, the Bachman story, when we say pulling on a thread and weaving, what wove Jefferson City.
Michelle, was that her name?
No, Lisa Bachman. And Justin.
Oh, Michelle Bachman is a politician, I think. Michelle something. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so Justin Bachman tried to take his own life, I think 2 or 3 times before he was even out of high school. He has Tourette's and no one understood it. And now he turned that, his whole thing is live loud, and he turned that into a platform in which he speaks directly to kids who might be up against the same thing. I've known him so long that he's practically graduated college now, went on to be a journalism reporter, and he's already actually, I think, exited out of journalism, to be honest. I think I saw that. But again, that's how it works. Y'all write in with their stories that are moving you. The person who helped you up when you fell at Browns at First Energy Stadium, Kelly Longhorn. Good stuff. What is his story? Now I want to know more.
And who can find him? She finds him.
Ooh, that was our Timmy Tusick thing. Oh, did you see that? He's a cancer survivor. We set him up. We found the woman who cleaned his room. He said, when I talked to him, he said there was this woman named Pat. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was Pat something, and she would tell me when she would come in to empty my trash can, Timmy Tusick, she would say, honey, I'm a cancer survivor, and I woke up every day smiling because I had another day. The best part of waking up for Pat was waking up. And so Timmy took that and he told me, she inspired me so much, and I can't even remember her name. So I was like, ding, ding, ding. It can't be that hard. Have a ton of sources at hospitals, which, by the way, I love. I have a list this long of stories waiting to be told.
We're still on.
Okay. And two days ago, I see an email for Giving Tuesday. UH is using that moment with Pat for their capital campaign for Giving Tuesday, for why UH is worthy of the people they're soliciting dollars, because of that human element. And so now we're friends with Pat. And then
so the world is full of good stuff. I mean, 95% of what goes on. That's not what you hear about on the evening news. I'm not as nice about it as she is. But just remember, there's tons and tons out there to be told. There's not enough time in 3 more lifetimes. We couldn't tell all the stories. And remember this. The whole world is a series of miracles, but we're so used to them, we call them ordinary things. We were talking about this, the wisdom of Winnie the Pooh. We were talking about this morning. She had pictures on her phone. People from the Browns game had pictures on their phones. They all tried to combine their pictures so we could show them here to you. I had stuff on my phone. She had video that is big files, hard to move. So we're using her phone, her computer, her laptop, my phone, my iPad, converting videos, because this platform doesn't like the format they're shot on in phone, so I have to convert them. I mean, there's an amazing amount of technology being fired.
And how often do you say thank you for technology? I know it's the bane of my existence.
Right.
I was going to say our grandparents would have never understood, like you said.
A word I just said.
When we were in journalism school down the road at the University of Missouri Columbia, I like to think not too long ago, but long enough ago to have never been able to fathom the way we're coming to you today.
She built part of this program you're watching today with the photos and the videos on her phone. I built part of it on the iPad. I built part of it on my laptop. Mm-hmm. We're using wireless lavaliers right now. So those aren't necessarily miracles, but I mean, just think of the stuff that we take for granted.
Did you wake up There you go. That's enough right
That
there.
right there is a miracle.
It sounds so cliche.
Yeah.
Did you wake up? Then that means there are opportunities today. And if you're still listening to us this long, we're grateful for that. So you want to weigh in on some comments before we go off?
Yeah, let me take that.
God is good, Jan Hasselbush. I will second that.
Let me take that picture.
Kelly,
down. There we
I
go.
saw she put Jeremiah 29:11. I
Yeah.
know the plans I have for you, I think, to prosper you and not to harm you.
Yeah.
Babe, is that zoomed in? Oh, just for us. I was like, I'm having flashbacks to broadcast
Yeah.
news when they zoom into focus. I'm like,
Yeah.
back off.
Listen to Mindy Lee. We all
Woo!
entrust you. This is a huge honor, Donnie.
Hey.
We all entrust you to tell our story. Everyone has one. That is great trust.
Thank you, babe.
That's you.
I can't even believe the stories always make me feel so good. And that's the thing. That's the thing, you guys. Like, if you're benefiting from these stories, imagine my heart knowing how many still need to be told. I can't get to them fast enough. And I think Gus Angeloni's in. Look at this.
He did comment. Yes. Mindy said his name and then he commented. Where is he? I saw him.
Oh, it's right there.
Did you see him? She said his
Oh.
name and then yeah, there he is. Mindy Lee. He says Mindy Lee. I love Don Kendrick.
Yeah, and how we met, again, it was divine design for sure. Through when we did the autism thing for Lynette, that big podcast or live stream that we did, I happened to find through, it was like 3 or 4 steps, you find him, and his son is kicking butt. Like, he is awesome, AWE, because of his autism, and it started with Lynette Scotty-Spatilla. So he did a little shout out to her, and then you find out his own dad is doing so many good things, so it's fantastic. Okay, let's see here. One moment, please. What else do you want to say? Oh, storyteller. So Mindy, when we say how she's got our back, if you take a look at the what am I saying?
Mindy's like almost like a producer. Like when we're struggling to remember
She
someone's
is.
name, she posts it on here.
And then she's all about the hashtags, and check out their life lessons with Jake and Jordan. John Crowley's watching. Oh God, do we love John and Laura Crowley so much. So if you're watching, we're about to wrap this up. If you want to weigh in with anything on your minds or any thoughts that you have, that's how we know for sure you're watching. There are always more people watching than commenting, so we would love to hear.
Jan's talking about the Browns, former Browns players that she got to pose with. They were so nice.
And she said she already got herself another earmuff.
Yeah.
Oh, right. At Corso Rosso, which is a winery in town. I haven't even, not this town, Jeff City, but in Cleveland. Haven't been to yet, but I know they're good stuff. And the way they support Sam Hasselbush. She sings there, and they love her.
You said
she loves them.
Jan spends most of her time at the winery, didn't she?
Babe, outside voice.
Oh, was that
Now,
that
see,
inside
he
voice?
stirs the pot, and now I'm like feeding into
She
it.
has to clean it up.
He just makes stuff up. Just, you have to
Very-
censor.
Yeah.
So,
I'm funny. Just ask me.
here, cheers. I think this was good today. We're grateful we woke up, right?
Yeah.
What else? We don't have to take the whole hour, but we allow ourselves on some of these to let it breathe, because for years in broadcast news, we weren't able. It was a minute 20. And inevitably, my story, I thought it was so great. I come in at 2 minutes, and the producer said, "Are you crazy? 120, cut it down."
Hey, let's get personal here for a second.
Okay.
How are you feeling about where you live now? You've now made the move as of this week to Missouri. How are
Okay,
you feeling about life?
Yeah. Thank you. That's good. I'm glad. Okay, so my mama,
Don't be afraid to talk about yourself. We want to know.
my mama, Marlene Kendrick, who did so much her entire life for so many, especially my brother and I, and my dad, who has passed on. My parents were those parents who never thought of themselves. Like, my dad went through Catholic grade school, Catholic high school, and Mizzou. He worked for us. And so my dad has passed, and my mama has advancing dementia, and she is in memory care in O'Fallon, Missouri. So for years, I keep thinking,
O'Fallon, Missouri is just outside St. Louis.
yeah, west down Highway 70 on the way to Jeff City. So
A little closer to me, so that works out well.
I'm like, God, what do we do? My life was in Cleveland for 22 years, like family there. what do I do? What do I do? At some point, that knocking on your heart, you just go. Is that speaking to anyone listening? Do you have something on your heart you've been praying on? And we weighed the pros and the cons.
And now you're here.
And
So
the best
how is it feeling?
was to spend more time with my awesome mama while we still have her, because we don't know how that awful disease progresses.
You had a good first day with her.
The best day.
Wednesday.
The very best day. You took off early, and I stopped by with a coffee for her, and she didn't feel well, and she said, "Oh, I forgot you were coming in. Oh, I don't feel well. You should leave." And I thought, I just uprooted my whole life. Oh, HE double toothpicks, no. But that's the thing. She doesn't mean. And so I sat down and I told her what you and I talked about gratitude and how I'm going through some of the things, like the achy joints that are typical for women in our family and stuff. And she's like, you know what? We just have to be faithful each day, Donnie. I pray for you. I have you on the rosary, and we can do this together. I go, right, Mama, together we can, together we will. And next thing you know, we have this fantastic, we get out, we're driving, got some fresh air.
She doesn't get out much.
No, she didn't. She wanted me to leave.
Your mom, not you.
Right, right.
Yeah, you get out.
So it turned out to be a fantastic day, y'all. So it's not going to be easy. The cons are constantly,
But you feel good. You feel hopeful about life.
Totally. And the cons are constantly knocking, like, details. What about this? What about this? You know what? Fine. In this day, as in that day, I had a fantastic day with my mama. And we accomplished so much. It was plugged in, and I said, thank you, God. And it's days like that that remind me on the days where I'm not sure where we're going, that I don't have to. Let's go, God.
We're looking at a potential place to live today.
Yeah, we're going to go see it with our friend Sabina Dean, who does not even need a shout out. She's a fantastic realtor in St. Louis, like the bomb, the Sabina Dean group. She deals with
Dawn
people.
Has her on speed dial, you know.
Well, she's been a friend for years, but she has clients. Again, talk about gratitude. She has clients 100 million times bigger than anything I could invest in real estate. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, come on, I'll say. She took time. She doesn't have to. So there are blessings all over popping up in this transition. So we speak it out loud to you. Whatever your journey is, we're in it together, and we want you to share it. It's not easy. It's not easy, but what is the next best step? That's it. That's it. The best part of waking up is waking up because we can take the next best step. For some people, not even physically. Some people cannot take the next best step, but those are the ones that often remind us how much you can do when you think that you can't. The things we take for granted, like putting feet on the floor. All we have to do is look to our friends, like my friend Eric Props. I could go on and on. We go way back to Lafayette. Super inspirational. But what should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
I'm sure people have lives. Yeah, that's how we can tell.
We've covered what we need to cover.
Yep.
We're supposed to say like, share, follow, and Danielle will crack the whip and make sure we're saying the right stuff every show. But I think that's our attempt at marketing right there. Like, share, follow, right?
Yes, and especially the YouTube channel that this goes live to as well. We're really trying to build that up. And that's what it is, y'all. It's social media. We have a story coming up. I just spoke to a woman she's out of Denver, Colorado. In 2 years, she turned a project she worked on out of a terrible divorce. She was sitting at Christmas time just staring at all the decorations in her house, sad, and said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just get on my social media. She had a small following, and raise $10,000 to go bring gifts to families with kids who could use the extra support. Now, that was 2020, in the height of all of us going, what's going on with this world? Now, in 2022, she's in like almost every state, and we're helping. The Good Stuff family is helping to find families here for her. So if you have any ideas, Dawn at thegoodstufffamily.com. If you know a family that could really be uplifted and encouraged, that woman is fantastically plugged in.
And Danielle is going to help with the content as well, because you have so many potential stories and so many ideas floating around in your head. She's going to help you say, all right, from on Fridays from 9 to noon, you're going to set up stories.
Right.
Let's find your top 3 you want to do for the next couple of weeks, and she's going to help you do that too, which is something I would need if I were doing what you're doing. So I can totally understand the need for that, and she's very structured and disciplined.
And maybe y'all can relate to that too. So just find the people who are who are adjacent to what you're trying to
And
do.
people who are
align
good at
yourself.
what you're not good at doing, or good at who like doing what you don't like doing.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll end with this, that woman who we're going to be bringing, she told me, Dawn, social media is all you need. And for me, I was like, "Ugh, I'm used to just being a reporter." Guess what? Embrace it. We can use it for good, and we're about to do that. And it took her, her saying that was also like another confirmation. The only way I met her is from the Superheroes to Kids in
'Cause
Ohio.
when you work at a
round
TV
and round.
station, a network affiliate TV station, you got decades of history of that station. They have a promotions department that buys advertising and markets the station.
Yes.
You have, what were you at? Your last station was an NBC affiliate,
was.
so you have the
It still
power of
is.
NBC behind you, people
Yeah,
watching those shows,
right.
leading into the news.
And that was a blessing.
Now you got to build it yourself. It's yeah, it's hard.
But it's super cool when you build something. So, all right, guys, here we are. We're at our hour mark, which we said would be our max. If you would you just join me? I'm just going to say a quick prayer. Just, Father God, the theme today, gratitude. Ooh, we have so much to be grateful for. We hold up each and every single person hearing this, each and single person who are part of this Good Stuff family tree. We hold up people who know that you are in control. We hold up the people who aren't sure of that yet. And we hold up everyone who is struggling. We know the struggle is real. And we choose faith over fear today, not just the t-shirt. And we thank you for the blessings already on their way for all of us. And it's in your name we pray. Amen. Amen. God bless you all. Go get them. God is good.